People who can fall asleep within 8 seconds of their head hitting their pillow. How the fuck do you fall asleep within 8 seconds of your head hitting your pillow? That's my secret, Cap. I'm always tired. Stay awake until you fall asleep in the couch. Then groggily walk to the bed when you inevitably wake up. I'm a firefighter and my one partner says what he likes least about me is my ability to fall asleep so fast after returning from a call. It helps to be physically tired. Much easier to fall asleep when your body has been engaged in physical activity during the day. I try to lay perfectly still and not allow myself to scratch my nose if it itches. For example, I just ignore the itch and next thing I know, it's time to get up. I just discovered that there are people with an inner monologue and this voice in their head allows them to have silent discussions and worry about decisions and whatnot. I don't have this. I don't have any voices talking to me. My preference is also to listen to a documentary on YouTube or Netflix. I set my timer on my phone to stop playing after 20 minutes and rarely stay awake till the end. I am very well versed on the first 10 minutes of World War II. My brother is one of these people, and I asked him this recently. The trick is a clean conscience. I got nothing to think about. Me. How do you not think about anything? I dunno. I just stop thinking. He's 16. I turn on Netflix or Hulu to a show I've seen a million times. I turn away from the screen and fall asleep. My friend does this. We'll be playing video games. Then he'll suddenly be tired and good night. Literally seconds later I can hear him snoring in his room. Man, I have insomnia and none of this shit works. Chronic sleep deprivation. For me it was a learned skill. Thank you US Army. They pushed me to work from Ravalli to TAPS, and only allowed for 5 to 6 hours of sleep. And I need 7 to 8. I wore an alarm watch. Any break during the day, oh I have 25 minutes. Set alarm watch. Prop against a tree or lay down anywhere I could. Bam, asleep. My wife is still amazed at how I do it. Hit it hard enough. I'm a lifelong insomniac, but my sister could fall asleep on her way to the pillow and sleep through the car going over train tracks. I wake up if a mouse farts across the street. I never got it. I've worked 20 plus shifts and be ridiculously tired and still takes me 20 to 30 minutes at least so. IDK what the answer is? I think it's just brain chemistry. I use AM. You can't don't think of anything real or about falling asleep. Once you do, you'll never go to sleep. Best trick I've found when I don't fall asleep easy is to put myself in a movie. Like imagine yourself walking through the gates of Hogwarts. What happens next? All up to you and just let your imagination flow. Eventually you'll fall asleep without realizing it. Just basically never give a shit about anything meaningful. That way you'll never have anything to keep you awake. Totally healthy way to approach life. I have created an imaginary world in my head that I only visit when I'm in bed and going to sleep. My mind associates those places and characters and narratives with sleep. Edit. How wonderful to wake up and discover that this comment went bananas. So cool to see so many people with awesome imaginations. Makes me so happy. Exercise a lot in the morning after waking up. Became a dad. Since my son was born I physically cannot lay down without falling asleep. It literally just happens. More like 4 seconds. Okay, so after years of tossing and turning and having horrible sleeps I've come close to nailing my routine. Exercise during the day, wake up and go to bed at the same time every day. If possible. That way your body knows when it's time to crash. Magnesium supplement with melatonin and GABA. About an hour before I want to fall asleep. Weighted blanket. For whatever reason helps me relax like nothing else. I actually can now usually fall asleep within a few minutes of going to bed. But if not, I play a little mind game. Body scanning is a solid one. Just imagine a ray of sunlight slowly going over you from your toes to your head. And relax your muscles as the sunlight goes over them. I hope that makes sense. There's a lot of guided I have narcolepsy. This is literally me. My husband is just the reverse. The main differences I observe between the two of us. 1. I'm a doer. He is a thinker. Worrying about stuff keeps him up at night, whereas I go to bed with the reassurance I've done all I can do that day, and que sera sera too. He brings his phone to bed and browses Reddit. I'm strictly no screens an hour before bed. 3. Other than bringing the phone to bed, he has no routine. By about 9:30, I'm winding down with my skincare routine, washing up, making a hot drink, and then in bed with a book by 10:15 at the latest 4. Since I'm the high-energy person in the relationship, I am moving and doing things all the time. Get home from work, cooking, have dinner, work out, do some laundry, read before bed. I'm pretty physically tired, drained by the time I hit the pillow. My husband runs at what seems to be a consistently lower energy level, like low enough that he needs a lot of downtime, usually in front of screens, to recharge, but high enough that he doesn't sleep well. I had to train myself to sleep fast. I went from taking hours upon hours to fall asleep, but now if I say I'm going to bed, I'll be asleep, but you can say okay, which can sometimes be a bad thing, ha ha ha. Start by turning off all electronics you are using. Lay down, close your eyes, and no matter what, do not open them till morning. At first it's painful because you'll lay with your eyes shut for hours in boredom, but after a few weeks of doing this every night, your body gets trained into falling asleep faster and faster. It's basically breaking the habit of not being able to fall asleep. Hope this helps you sleep better. There's a proverb in my mother tongue that translates to, don't go to bed to sleep. What it essentially means is that one must not go to the bed unless she is very sleepy. So sleepy that he'll fall asleep instantly. One must never go to bed to lay down and hope to fall asleep. Weighted blanket. *I made my bed as comfortable and boring as possible. White cotton sheets, white cotton pillowcases, etc. *I try to make my bed, or at least keep it semi-made, because I have an easier time falling asleep when the sheets are straight and my blankets lined up properly. *I wear white cotton pajamas without buttons or anything scratchy, because if I'm even a little bit uncomfortable, it's much harder to fall asleep. *I braid my hair before bed, which stops my hair from getting in my face, because again, I can't sleep if I'm uncomfortable. As an added bonus, keeping my hair braided stops it from wrapping around my neck and throttling me while I sleep. *I use a very heavy blanket. It's not weighted, but I knit it myself, and hand knit blankets weigh more than store-bought blankets. *I keep my feet warm, because for some reason that helps. Depending on the season, I'll either use a heated blanket, heating pad, or just wear socks. *I don't try to go to bed unless I actually feel tired. There's this sort of wave of sleepiness that hits me at night, and if I get in bed approximately 20 minutes of that happening, I pass out almost immediately. If I miss that window, I get an adrenaline rush and will be up forever. *I try to do soothing, repetitive things at night before bed, knitting, folding laundry, etc. Sometimes I wear blue light filtering glasses because that is supposed to help your body properly produce sleep hormones. And if it doesn't, well, the placebo effect's pretty powerful too. *If nothing else works, I take melatonin and slowly drink a cup of tea while reading Calvin and Hobbes. I've got ADHD. Caffeine relaxes me. I always said if I could have a superpower it would be being able to go to sleep on demand. As a person who takes at least an hour to sleep, as my brain doesn't shut up or have a turn-off button, I salute you. I've been trying to sleep for 5 hours now and I'm starting to lose it. Coffee helps me. Years of intense sleep deprivation. Just finished general surgery residency and I can fall asleep anywhere, anytime. The years of desperately wanting sleep but not being allowed to makes me sleep like the dead. Every guy I've ever slept next to has somehow managed to fall asleep within minutes. Then there's me, where it takes sometimes literal hours for me to fall asleep. Staying asleep is a whole other issue. I have no words for how jealous I am. Clean living and a clear conscience. No, honestly, I have no idea. It's changed. I remember lying in bed awake for hours as a child. Kept night owl hours as a young adult. Slept when I could when I had babies. Woke instantly if something was wrong in the house. Years of waking up early has given me a reliable internal early alarm. I still stay up late a lot, but when I'm ready for bed it's usually pretty quick. Sometimes I'll put on headphones with music or a podcast. Rarely am I awake longer than a couple of minutes after I get in bed, unless my feet are cold. Phase 1, stay awake until about to pass out. Phase 2, Phase 3, profit. Keep the bed, and as much as possible the bedroom, for 2 things, shagging and sleeping. Do nothing else in that damn bed. Don't look at devices. Don't read. Talk about confusing your body. Don't sit around talking to or so. Either shag them, or snuggle up and go to sleep with them. Half an hour before going to bed. Drop the lights in the rest of the house. Use lamps only if you can, that's really it. I've had partners over the years amazed that I can do it. But once I've gotten them to follow the above, they have no problem. How? I love sleeping. I'm profoundly deaf in one ear, so I sleep on my good ear and block out almost all noise. My pillow is made of stone and I knock myself out on it every night. Depression. Weed. My name is Yoshi Kajkira. I'm 33 years old. My house is in the northeast section of Morio, where all the villas are. And I am not married. I work as an employee for the KMU department stores. And I get home every day by 8 p.m. at the latest. I don't smoke, but I occasionally drink. I'm in bed by 11 p.m. and make sure I get 8 hours of sleep, no matter what. After having a glass of warm milk and doing about 20 minutes of stretches before going to bed, I usually have no problems sleeping until morning. Just like a baby. I wake up without any fatigue or stress in the morning. I was told there were no issues at my last checkup. I'm trying to explain that I'm a person who wishes to live a very quiet life. I take care not to trouble myself with any enemies, like winning and losing, that would cause me to lose sleep at night. That is how I deal with society. And I know that is what brings me happiness. Although, if I were to fight I wouldn't lose to anyone. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe for more content.